So picture this, you're in Iran, right? You've got a dog, a cute one, maybe a fluffy Samoyed or perhaps a little terrier with a big personality. You want to take it for a walk. Seems normal, doesn't it? Well, in Iran, particularly in Tehran, this simple act has become a bit of a mission impossible. The police have decided that walking your dog in public spaces like parks or even just down the street is a no-go. This isn't some old forgotten law they've suddenly remembered. This is an act of enforcement, a clear message to pet owners that their four-legged companions are not welcome to stretch their legs outside the confines of their homes. It's a tough situation for any dog lover. This ban isn't just a friendly suggestion either. Oh no, there are penalties involved and they're not insignificant. If you're caught taking Fido for a stroll, you could be facing some serious trouble. The authorities are not playing around. Tehran's police chief, Hossein Rahimi, has been quite vocal about this, stating that police have received permission directly from the Tehran prosecutor's office to enforce this ban rigorously. So you can imagine the scene. You're just trying to let your dog do its business and suddenly you're on the wrong side of the law. It's a stressful reality for many ordinary Iranians who simply want to share their lives with a pet, a companion that offers unconditional love. But wait, there's more. It's not just about walking. Even having your dog in your car can land you in hot water. Think about that for a second. You can't walk them and you can't drive them somewhere more private to walk them. It's like saying you can own a plant, but you can't put it near a window or take it outside for sunlight. Police have vowed serious action against those who dare to transport their canine friends in their vehicles. This creates a massive headache for pet owners. How do you get your dog to the vet? What if you're moving house? These everyday activities become fraught with risk and anxiety, all because of these stringent regulations. The official reason given for these rather strict measures is quite something. Authorities claim that dogs in public create fear and anxiety among the general population. Some reports even use the words panic and anxiety. The goal, they say, is to protect the safety of the public. Now, I'm sure some people might be scared of dogs, that's fair, but a blanket ban on all dogs, everywhere in public, it feels like a very broad stroke to address a concern that could perhaps be managed with more nuanced approaches, like leash laws or designated dog-friendly areas. Instead, it's a complete prohibition, leaving pet owners feeling targeted and misunderstood in their own communities. Now, to understand why Iran is having this, shall we say, complicated relationship with pets, especially dogs, we need to rewind a bit. This isn't something that just popped up yesterday. The tension around dog ownership in particular has been brewing since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Before the revolution, things were different. In fact, Iran was actually one of the first countries in the Middle East to pass animal welfare laws way back in 1948. Imagine that, they were ahead of the curve. But the revolution brought significant societal and ideological shifts, and the perception of pets, especially dogs, changed dramatically for some influential figures and parts of the population. After 1979, dogs began to be viewed by some Islamic authorities as unclean or najis. This religious interpretation plays a significant role in the current attitudes. Furthermore, keeping dogs as companion animals rather than for guarding or herding started to be seen as a symbol of westernization or garbzadegi, a kind of undesirable imitation of Western culture. So owning a poodle wasn't just about having a fluffy friend. For some, it was a statement and not one they approved of. This ideological lens has colored the debate for decades, making pet ownership a surprisingly political act for some in the country. It's a heavy burden for a simple bark to carry. The formalization of these views came in various ways. For example, in 2010, a prominent religious figure, Grand Ayatollah Nasser Makarem Shirazi, issued a fatwa, a religious edict, declaring that dogs are indeed unclean. He went on to say that affection for dogs was a blind imitation of the West and that there were many people in the West who love their dogs more than their wives and children. That same year, the Ministry of Culture and Islamic Guidance took a step further by banning media advertisements for pets and pet-related products. So no cute puppy pictures in magazines trying to sell you dog food. This shows a concerted effort to discourage pet ownership at multiple levels. This wasn't the end of it. Around 2014, there was even a parliamentary push to introduce fines and, get this, flogging for dog walkers, flogging for walking a dog. While that particular measure didn't pass in that form, it highlights the extremity of the sentiment among certain conservative factions. It paints a picture of a continuous, long-standing effort to curb what they see as an inappropriate cultural trend. Despite all this, many Iranians, especially in urban areas and among the middle class, have continued to embrace pets, showing a quiet resistance to these pressures and a desire for companionship that transcends these official narratives. Just when you thought things couldn't get more complicated for pet owners in Iran, along comes a new piece of proposed legislation. It's called the Protection of the Public's Rights Against Animals Bill. Now, that title sounds interesting. It makes you wonder whose rights are truly being prioritized. This bill, which has been under discussion and is reportedly set for approval by the Iranian parliament, aims to make owning common domestic pets illegal without a special permit. We're not just talking about dogs here. This could potentially include cats, turtles, and even rabbits. Imagine needing a government permit to keep a bunny. It's quite a leap. The process for getting this special permit is not guaranteed to be straightforward or even successful. It suggests a bureaucratic hurdle designed to deter ownership rather than regulate it fairly. And if you decide to flout this law, the bill includes provisions for fines starting at around $800. That's a hefty sum, especially considering the economic pressures many Iranians face. It's a clear signal that the state is serious about controlling and perhaps drastically reducing the pet population. This legislative move represents a significant escalation in the official stance against keeping household animals, moving from public restrictions to controlling private ownership itself. One of the most striking ironies of this proposed bill is its potential impact on a globally recognized symbol of Iran, the Persian cat. Yes, you heard that right. The very bill aimed at regulating animal ownership in Iran could effectively outlaw or severely restrict the keeping of Persian cats in their country of origin. It's like Italy banning pasta or Belgium banning chocolate. The Persian cat is an iconic breed, admired worldwide for its beauty and gentle nature, and it hails from, well, Persia, modern-day Iran. The thought that these majestic creatures could become contraband in their homeland is both baffling and deeply saddening for many. Adding to the woes of pet owners are the severe shortages and skyrocketing prices of pet food. For the past 3 years, as of early 2025, sanctions imposed on Iran have led to a ban on the import of pet food from Western countries. This has created a dire situation. Locally produced pet food is often reported to be of inferior quality and has become incredibly expensive, sometimes 5 times pricier than just a few months prior. Veterinarians have even spoken about resorting to bootleggers to smuggle in necessary pet food. So, even if you manage to keep your pet legally, feeding it adequately has become a monumental challenge, adding another layer of stress and hardship. Understandably, this proposed protection of the public's rights against animals bill and the existing restrictions have not gone unnoticed or unopposed. Veterinarians within Iran have been quite vocal in their criticism. Dr. Payam Mohebi, who is the president of the Iran Veterinary Association, has publicly opposed the bill. He pointed out that debates around such laws aren't new and have been ongoing for over a decade, indicating a persistent struggle between different societal views on animal companionship. Local vets have reportedly called the proposed law embarrassing, a strong condemnation from professionals dedicated to animal welfare and health. Dr. Ashkan Shemirani, a veterinarian based in Tehran, has highlighted another grim aspect of the current situation, the fate of animals seized by authorities. He mentioned the creation of makeshift prisons for these pets, often with very poor conditions. This paints a distressing picture for animals confiscated under the existing or proposed laws, suggesting that their welfare is far from a priority once they are removed from their owners. The concern is that these measures, ostensibly for public safety, lead to greater animal suffering. This professional opposition underscores the deep divide between the official stance and the views of those who work closely with animals daily. The international community has also taken note. David Barrett, the executive director of Network for Animals, NFA, an international animal welfare organization, has strongly condemned the proposed ban. He called it an embarrassment and criticized what he sees as a lack of empathy towards animals. NFA continues its work in the Middle East, striving to help animals in various challenging situations. Such international criticism, while perhaps not immediately altering domestic policy, does bring global attention to the plight of pets and their owners in Iran, adding another voice to the calls for a more compassionate and practical approach from the authorities. Ultimately, these laws and proposed changes have a profound impact on the everyday lives of Iranian pet owners. They face a constant dilemma, navigating their affection for their animal companions against a backdrop of societal disapproval from some quarters and increasingly restrictive legal measures. Yet, despite the religious stigma highlighted by some authorities and the practical difficulties, many Iranians, particularly within the middle class and urban centers like Tehran, continue to cherish their pets. This quiet persistence suggests a deep-seated human need for companionship that these policies fail to extinguish. The future remains uncertain, but the debate over paws in public and private life in Iran is far from over.